All right, let's see if we can add it live to my overlay. So ideally, I'd like for the crab to come out of, you know, behind my face and just keep walking at the bottom there. Let's see if we can make it work. Also, what's the next render is already at frame 450 here. That's nice. Let's go and do it. Oh, there we go. So don't be alarmed by you seeing me so many times. I can switch back and forth. So I'm going to have the crab come out of this bit here now and see if I can make him walk over here. I'll add a new video source, or media source rather, to infinity and beyond. Crab walk, I'll call it. Yes, it's very confusing. If people see this for the first time, they think, oh my god, my computer just broke. So yeah, for best effects, second monitor is highly recommended. Where was that again? Streaming, and then overlays, crab overlays, and it hasn't quite uploaded yet. We're waiting for OneDrive to do its thing. Overlays, crab overlay, but there's nothing in here. Oh, because it's I've chosen the wrong thing. This is an image file. I'm so sorry. This is not the right thing. That's not what we need. It's a media source, or rather like a media source, not an image source. I must have picked the wrong one here. So it has to be a media source, and that's a video file. So otherwise it doesn't really work. So crab walk, and in it I can now have a loopable video file. Restart when source becomes available. It's a local file. Crab overlay. That's why that didn't work. Perfect. Downloads it all. Have a cup of coffee while that all happens. There we go. Perfect. Oh, really? Oh, thank you. That is very nice. I appreciate that. Hair converter, hey? There we go. That's the crab. So I don't want to have anything else accidentally move on my screen, so I'll go lock everything except for the crab walk. That's what that would look like. And he can be at the very bottom of the screen. That's cool. And then of course he needs to be behind my overlay, so I'll go and make him put him further at the back so that he would also not walk over the donation bits and pieces. So there we go. That's what that looks like. It is, isn't it? If I go and make that like this, so imagine this is like a plain desktop now. What does that look like? And then he goes, every once in a while he just goes and creeps in and does his thing. It's almost like he should be either a little bit larger and or slightly further lifted up. What do you think? And I can really see that harsh edge of the shadow, so that we need to find a way to alleviate that. But that's cool. It's just an overlay there. Yeah, maybe I'll make him a little bit larger. And I can probably do that in Premiere. So I think I'm going to leave the position of this whole thing intact and just make him a little bit larger in Premiere. Trippy indeed. I'll let him, and then we need to have some rest frames. So really, I don't want him to constantly run. I want him to maybe run once every 2 minutes or so. Also, I'll add some just empty frames to this video loop, and then, you know, that's what would happen. And also we can then dim down the opacity a little bit. Okay, so slightly larger. Slightly larger isn't actually that easy to do here, because it means I need a completely different different timeline. So it'd be like this. That's probably the easiest way to do it. That's what he would look like if he's larger. Do we like it? A scuttling sound, yes, that would be good. I'm just watching the return back here together with you on a nice plain blue window screen. Yes, I'm thinking a little bit higher. That would be good, like, ow, then I can just go do something like that. Yes, make him, we're going to put him a little bit higher. See if that works. It's nice to experiment this. He looks really nice, doesn't he? I have a feeling this, I might actually like this version better than the full frontal version. I'm not sure yet, but I can seriously see the shadow here, and now especially on the bottom as well. So I think I'm going to go and have just an oval, feathered oval that will cut some of his outsides out. It'll be good. It'll be good. Do you know, me too? Darja, thank you so much for buying the product from Ko-fi. I appreciate that. And I didn't know that that's how it came up. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Yes, let's do that. Mask. This is a bit too high now, isn't it? I liked it. I think maybe slightly further down like we had him. So go further down like here. I think that's nice. He looks so cute. Okay, I'll lock myself out of this again. While he walks, this might be weird now, but we will work on different versions here. I'll just go let him walk over the screen while we get an improved version of him out. So I think the size, let's deal with that in OBS. That's cool. I'll just replace the exact file and just make it longer then as well. But that mask, let's see if we can do that. I think this is a crop that we want. Crop goes on crab, the crab crop. This is the crop we want. This is going to make it. Oh no, actually, look at that. He can track it. That's very good. He'll just track all of this. This is very, very good. Thank you, Premiere. I appreciate that. This is probably all we need, and we'll feather it. And we need to invert it. So is that all? Seriously? That's all I need to do? And this is now going to go and travel with it. Yeah, look at that. And now we have soft shadows on the outside. I might even feather this more, like 20%. Dang, this is good, man. So let's make it a minute, so that for now he walks down once every minute. I think that's a good. That's the go. And actually, we're not going to do that. We're just going to go and see if the cropping has worked. If it has worked well, let's go and choose the correct location this time. Overlays. Such a shame we can't hear that. What a shame. I don't know why it worked during rehearsal, but not during the actual show, as they say. Such a shame. I can hear it perfectly fine, but the timing sometimes is just so nice. So thank you for the applause, Brian. I appreciate that. Yes, I think so too. He's the one who's going to cheer us up. Crab Walk. Replace you with version 2. Hasn't quite arrived yet. Oh, what's this? Issues in the upload. Oh, there we go. It's better now. Available in 2 seconds. So there we go. Thank you, OneDrive. I wish they would implement something in OneDrive that the guys from Dropbox already have. Hang on a minute, that's not clipped at all. That still looks just as awful as the previous one. Oh, and also, it actually does look better, but I had the gray on. That's not what I wanted. Okay, we'll work on that. Version 3 is coming to us soon. So I left the gray on, but also what it showed me is that the feathering is not quite as good as it could be. So I can still see the cutout here. Version 3. Yes, I wish that OneDrive would have something like Dropbox has, which is automatic LAN detection. So if a file is being shared, OneDrive by default always puts it online. And then if another computer sees there's a change, it then gets downloaded, but it's always via the internet. It's never via LAN. So Dropbox is very clever. It just goes and says, hey, I can see if this is a file that's available on the local network. And if it is, obviously I'm going to use your gigabit connection rather than your slow internet connection. And I think that would be just so nice. Crab overlay coming right up. Come on. Crab overlay v3. Come on. Now with transparency. 68 meg, that's still not a lot, so that's, you know, that's doable. Or so we hope. I can still see the circle around him, so he's still not quite as feathered out as I would like him to be. I might actually just make the circle even smaller so that we see less of a shadow. Yeah, just make it smaller and even more feathered, I think. I think that's what I'd like. Yeah, because there's this shadowy bit left of him. I don't think I need to see that. On the bottom, that's nice, and we just feather it out even further, like, you know, 100 pixels or so. It makes it nice and fluffy. A bit like the circle that I have around myself. I could even have it so that when he pauses closer to me. I think that would also be fun, especially if that happens only every so often. So this is as far as I can do that, or I play with the keyframes a bit. Yeah, that's perfect timing. That's just perfect timing. If you have that every 10 minutes or every 5 minutes, that'll just be hilarious. Oops, no, don't do that. Oh my goodness. I nearly stopped the stream here. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, we'll have one more go at him. You're going to be all cut out like this, and your mask feather is going to be maybe even 200. Or maybe 100. 120 there, perfect. No, that's that. Yeah, let's see if that works. Brian, do you use Dropbox, or do you use a different cloud service like Google Drive? Shadow, yes, it's clipped on the left, yes, because the shadow is much longer than what I've actually rendered. So I think there's something that's clipped in the render. Yeah, it's always a bit delayed, isn't it? But yes, absolutely, I'm totally working on the shadow now. I don't want it to be quite that big, so we'll see. I feathered it quite a bit. We'll see if this works now. This kind of tinkering always takes the longest, I find. Want to become famous? Ah, no, I'm too famous as it is. Box, yeah, that's another one. There's so many. There's Box, there's Sugar Sync. There's quite a few on there. Yeah, I'm not with Dropbox anymore. I used to be. And then they've disabled the fact that you can't link more than 3 devices to your computer. And that was just not enough for me. So then I had to look for something else. And I just went with OneDrive, which, you know, works okay for me. Yeah, so this is much less of a shadow. I think we can even make that even smaller. I think that'll be good. I don't see anything else anymore. I think I just make it on the left-hand side just a little bit smaller. Very cute. I like it. I like it. I might just go and do that. I don't even have to do that. I could just there. This guy even further down. So we don't want to cut off his shears or anything. But I think this is going to be the final one, I think. And then of course I'm going to make it. What do you think? Every 2 minutes? Every 5 minutes? Every 10 minutes? How often should the crab come visit us? What do you think? I might add him to the crab product as well, this final render here. That might be nice, so people can use that in their own overlays if they want to do that. Once we have the perfect crab. Every 5, yeah, I'm thinking every 5 might be good, yeah. He has some seams and some expressions, so you could make that happen. There's even what would also be super funny is if he would be the guy delivering these donation alerts that are currently just coming up here. So I think I might use him to have something like, you know, move into position as he is now, and then have a speech bubble come up that just goes and says in the Patreon and the Ko-fi link and stuff. That's a very, very good idea, Daja. Oh my, that would be a really good idea for turning him into a pop-up. My goodness, the possibilities are endless. And also, I think the driving motivation behind this is just so much fun. I mean, I still can't quite believe that we've created all this over only 2 days. This was like the 3rd day was just literally tinkering. Where is he? Okay, oh, I'm looking at the wrong monitor here. Very funny. I was looking at my Windows screen, which is empty. Yeah, there we go. I think I like that with the feathered mask. I think that's nice. I don't really mind the shadow anymore. He has to have a shadow. I mean, he's a person and all that. So there we go. That might be an idea. I can also try and turn him into an animated GIF file. I think that is also possible. If I don't use the motion, it could literally be just a looping type GIF file. I can try that. Random would also be, that would be interesting. There's a possibility if I can turn him into a GIF. I think, or maybe even into a video. I'll have to look into that. There's a way to integrate him with the bot, Jeremy. That might be interesting, that you can type a command and at that point he comes up, or other interesting GIFs come up. So that's another thing we can try and work with. Do you know, I think we have an emoji for him on Twitch, don't we? Isn't there a crab emoji? I thought I had one. This one here. WP Guru Crab. There we go. So subscribers have access to that emoji. Twitch subscribers. And I think we can add him to the crab. Meet the crab. We can add him to the Discord emojis. Sebastian, that's the command. That's a great idea. Every 5 minutes, save. Oh dear, that would be good. Well, maybe we'll look into that next time. I like the idea as well of having him come along and either just have a little speech bubble that is like a 2D speech bubble that just goes and says something, either the donation alert or whatever. But yeah, there's value in that. Let's see where DAZ Studio has gone into with rendering here. There we go. I think that's done it. Let's go. We have a little bit of time. I think we can try to use the second full frontal crab and see how we like that, just as a little comparison. Let me go and import him. This is the frontal crab. And frontal crab, I might just go and add him to this whole thing. Literally copy all this here. Make the speed 50% to align it with the top. Let's go align you like so, and then go and paste all the attributes onto the top, so including the crop. So that means that we're going to switch off this crab, and now we have a new crab just with a different camera angle. And I'll go and export him without the gray. So I'll call him Crab Frontal V1 and export. Mr. Rod, the golden rod, Miss Joe, hello, hello. How are you doing? We're playing Please Don't Be Disturbed when I bring up the following screen that will look like this. This is a bit crazy. So I'll go and add a second crab walk to it so we can switch between them. Media source, crab walk frontal. It is so trippy. I think that's exactly what Brian said. He also said trippy. How exciting. We'll have him loop and go and grab crab frontal in here. And just make sure he's in the correct spot. It is so trippy. Crab frontal is now kind of here. I think I can go and do the same thing here. I can say transform, copy transform, and then paste the transform. Bing! Perfection. Oh, look at that. Two different guys that just... So they are now... It's two different crabs. Oh my, so much fun. Let's look at it on a plain background. And I'd like your opinion on which camera angle you prefer. The one straight from the front or the one that's slightly as a 3/4. So this guy here, that's the one straight from the front. And then there's the other guy, which is kind of slightly from an angle. I'm actually going to change him so that he's above your chat just for a second. There. Then we all get to compare him. Jeremy says 3/4. Interesting. Do not adjust your TV set. Nothing is broken. Yeah, seeing these guys side by side, I'm thinking maybe the full frontal one is nicer. It's a tough decision to make. Absolutely. I think the way he looks straight at the viewers, because it's the same camera angle that I have as well. Whereas I mean, I don't know. I'm really torn. I think they're both very good. Yes, I think so too, Julia. I'm with you. I think they both work, but I think if I had to pick, I think I might pick the full frontal guy. Might also be an idea, Daja. Yes, absolutely. Use both on different occasions. I mean, we can even go. I just like it when he's basically in the center of the screen and waits there, and then he just looks straight at the camera. That is just so funny. Like that. That is just so cool.